What's up, you guys? God is great. So in this video, I'm going to break down two things. Number one, how you can make money working from home on our virtual life insurance sales team. And number two, how eventually you can grow your own sales team within our organization. And I'm going to break down how you make money when you grow your own sales team. So stay tuned for this whole video. We're going to be going over a bunch of things, such as company history, how we get leads, how many leads you get as an agent, what the leads are. We're going to go over our sales process. We're going to go over the average numbers. So how many calls it takes, how many presentations you have to give to make a sale with the leads we provide you. We're going to go over how we teach you to collect referrals, which is huge. Average numbers off of those referrals. So the statistics when it comes to presenting to the referrals. We're going to teach you how we're able to give out unlimited leads to every single agent that joins our sales team. We're going to go over how you can also get additional final expense leads if you want people requesting insurance. We'll break that down. We're going to go over how training works when you join our team, a lot about our company culture, how to get promoted on our team, how the money works as a leader when you do get promoted, and then how you can get started at the end of the video. But I believe it's super important when you're joining a sales company to make sure the person you're learning from that's going to be your leader actually has results that you would trade places with. So be careful when you're joining any sales industry, whether it's life insurance, solar, pest control. There's a ton of people recruiting out there. The number one question you should ask is, how long have you been at your current company? The reason I say that is in sales, a big thing is people quit every single year and they jump from company to company to company, from selling solar to life insurance to a different life insurance company. And they're always gonna tell you, oh, this is the best thing ever. I can teach you how to make all this money. Your question should be, how long have you been with that same company, to make sure it's a consistent leader that's not a quitter and can lead you to making a bunch of stable, consistent money over the course of a long time. And number two, ask them, can I see your bank account? How much money do you actually make? And also ask, is it profit or are you spending a bunch of money to make a bunch of money? In this video, you're gonna see that with our company, you don't have to spend one single dollar on anything. No office spaces, we all work from home. The leads are free. There's no softwares you have to buy. So when I show you my income, just know my only expenses are my flashy supercars, which I use to recruit agents. But I spend no money on leads, no money on staff, no money on marketing, no money on anything except profit, which is what we're going to teach you how to do too. But it's important to ask, how much money does the person make that you're learning from? So here's this year. I set up this bank account in January. So this is a new bank account. I made more than this in January, but this is just when I activated my account. Cash Flow Insights, a real PNC bank app. 61K in January, 211 in February, 289 in March, 700 in April, 247 in May, 441 in June, 194 in July, 537 in August, 182 in September, and we're a week and a half into October already at 72K. Praise God. And the answer to the other question is, I've been with the same company without quitting for 5.5 years. I started as a 20-year-old college dropout. My first year without having a team, I made $380,000 of straight profit with no sales experience, which means I can teach you how to sell at a high level. Since then, every single year I've made tremendously much more money. I was a millionaire at age 23, which means I can teach you to be a millionaire as well. But other than just me making money, on our team, we've got dozens and dozens and dozens of people that with the information you're about to see today have came in and earned multiple six figures their first year. And not only have I made millions, but we've got so far 2 other people on our team this year that have already cleared over 7 figures, which means I know how to do it and I can teach other people how to do it as well. We've got proof in the pudding. But let's get into the video. So like I said, first things first, whenever you're joining a company, it's important to know, is this company stable? Have they been through recessions? And is this something that I can actually count on being here for me to raise my family on for the next 5, 10, 15, 30 years? Be careful when you're joining companies, because in the life insurance industry, new companies are always popping up left and right. It's the best thing ever. We've got the highest commission. This is where you're going to retire your family. You can sell this business for $100 million. And then 2 years later, that company's not around. They've only been around for 6 months. 2 years later, they're out of business. When you come to work with us, come check this out. The reason I chose this company is because the company that I work with and that you would be working with if you worked with us is Globe Life. If you look up Globe Life, They began in the year 1900, which means they've been around for over 120 years. The other cool thing with Globe Life is if you look up what life insurance company has the most individual policyholders in the entire country, the answer is Globe Life with over 17 million policyholders. Now, when it comes to Globe Life is broken into different subsidiary companies, the largest of the four being American Income Life. American Income Life is the specific company that I work with and that we're hiring for. But American Income Life has also been around for over 70 years. American Income was founded in the year 1951. And what's cool is if you look into American Income Life, check this out. In 1973, we were granted as an official union label designation life insurance company, which I'm going to get into in a minute. But that's going to take us right into our next point, which is how we get leads. So now you know about the company. We're backed by the biggest life insurance company in the entire country, that's Globe Life. We've been around for over 75 years as a smaller subsidiary company, but our parent company that backs us has been around for over 120 years. So if you're looking for a stable company that you can count on being here to grow your career and raise a family on, Globe Life is reliable, and that is why I'm here. They also just signed a 30-year lease to the naming rights of the Texas Rangers ballpark stadium, which is a professional baseball team in Dallas, Texas. You don't sign a 30-year lease on a professional baseball stadium if you plan on going out of business in the next 5 years. So we're at least gonna be around for the next 30 years because they've got that lease and someone's gotta pay it. You can't just stop a lease. Number two, how we get leads. So if you remember, it says American Income Life since year, you don't have to zoom in, but since year 1951, so that's 75 years, we've been a 100% union life insurance company, which means the way we get leads is through our partnerships with over 40,000 different unions and credit unions all across the country. If you don't know what a union, for example, is like the teachers union or the firefighters union or police union, electrical workers union, plumbers union. There's tons of them. But the important statistic for you to know is we're partnered with over 40,000 unions across the United States, and each union has thousands and thousands of members. The way we get leads is through these unions. But I want to point out, if you're getting into sales, not only do you need to pick a stable company, but you need to understand, how do I get leads? Because that's an important thing when you're setting up your future. Door-to-door sales is a great opportunity for people that want to go door-to-door. However, I never wanted to go door-to-door. There's tons of sales opportunities where they say, hey, the way you're gonna get leads is we're gonna drop you off in the middle of a neighborhood and you gotta start knocking on random people's doors to make sales. I'm not knocking that because it's great training and people make a bunch of money doing that. I just know I don't wanna do that for the rest of my life, so I got into virtual sales. So you don't have to door knock with us. We're gonna give you leads that you can call from the comfort of your bedroom. The second thing is there's tons of life insurance companies that don't give you leads. And when you start with them, they're gonna say, hey, on a piece of paper, write down 20 of your closest friends and family members, and that's your leads. That's who you have to call. We will never make you sell one friend or one family member ever, ever, ever. And then the third thing is a lot of life insurance companies have you buy leads, which means if you don't have money when you join that company, $1,000 or $2,000 a week to buy leads, you're not gonna have anyone to call. Therefore, you can't make sales. On top of that, even if you do have money, understand these companies that have you buy leads and you have to, like that's your only way of getting leads. When you see them posting their agents' paychecks, if they made $3,000 for the week, but they spent $2K on leads, you really only made $1,000. So be careful with that. The other thing is we will never have you cold call. Cold call is when you're calling a random person, random phone number, and they have no idea who you are. We're gonna provide you leads where the people hand filled out a card, and when you call them, they know who you are and they know what you're calling about. So you might be asking, well, how does that work? How do you get free warm leads? The way we do it is very simple. With these 40,000 unions that we're partnered with, it's growing. It's probably more than 40,000 at this point. American Income Life, our great company, has two departments. they've got a PR department where their job is to help us generate the leads. And they've got a sales department, which is us, where we sell the life insurance to the leads. So the members of our PR team, they go out and meet with the heads of these unions. For example, let's just use the teachers union as example. There's a teachers union that's got thousands of members. Let's just say they got 50,000 teachers in that union. We're gonna send one of our PR reps to meet with the union president of that teachers union. And the conversation's gonna go like this. Hey, president of the union, my name's Spencer. I work with American Income Life. We're partnered with 40,000 different unions just like yours all across the country. Can I show you what we offer for them and see if it's something you wanna give to the 10,000 or 50,000 teachers in your group? The president of the union is gonna be like, sure, what do you offer? Our PR rep's basically gonna say, well, first let me explain the problem. The problem is your teachers have life insurance through work, but they probably don't know this. 90% of the time that life insurance through work, it's great because it's free or it's super cheap, but it's gonna go away whenever they quit, get fired, or retire. The reason that's a problem, Mr. Union President, is what's the average age of retirement? 65 years old. Well, what's the average life expectancy? 80 years old. So that means your teachers are gonna lose their life insurance when they retire at age 65, and for the next 15 years of their life, they're gonna have no life insurance. The reason that's a problem is most teachers think their life insurance through work is gonna be there forever. So when they do retire, they're gonna be super upset that they don't have life insurance, and they're gonna be uncovered with life insurance for the next 15 years of their life. That's a problem. The president of the union is gonna be like, okay, well, what's the solution? Our solution is, because we work with so many unions and we're the official union life insurance company, we're able to offer your teachers a discounted permanent life insurance policy with a union discounted rate that's cheaper than anything they can find on the open market with what we're offering. And we're gonna offer that to them so they can get something beneficial that's cheaper than what they find on the open market. He's gonna say, okay, that sounds good. Well, how can we make this happen? We're gonna say, here's the deal. We're willing as a company to give every single teacher in your union a free life insurance policy that's worth anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000. The catch is when you send them a letter, so the president of the union is gonna send a letter to the members of the union that says, hey, this company, American Income Life, is offering you a free life insurance policy just for being a member of the union. Once you fill out this card to activate the policy, an AIL representative, which is us, is gonna contact the union member to activate the free policy and go over permanent life insurance that's available to the members if they want to take part in it. So every single teacher in that union is gonna receive a letter that basically says, hey, you're getting a free life insurance policy, fill out this card. By the way, when a sales rep calls you to activate your free policy, they're gonna go over permanent life insurance as well. So the teachers get that letter, hand write on the card. Check this out. Let me see if I can find the card. This is an example of the letter. This is one of the letters we sent to the electrical workers. The member literally writes their last name, their first name, their middle name, their house address, the city, state, and zip code, 2 phone numbers for us to call them. They handwrite their birthday, and they write who they're gonna put as their beneficiary for the free policy that we're giving them and the relationship to the beneficiary. So once the members turn that card back in, that is then the leads that we give to our new agents. Super simple. I'm gonna eventually get into how many leads we give to our new agents, but that's how we get them. Now, once we give those leads to our new agents, the sales process is so simple. It's 2 steps. Step number 1 is when you're a life insurance sales agent on our team, your first job is to make a phone call to that lead to schedule a Zoom meeting to go over everything. If you come check this out, we're gonna give you a phone script to read. Just show it for a quick second. It's a phone script that they can read, and literally you read it word for word. So the first initial phone call is kind of like this. Hey Joe, you got that letter in the mail from your union about the life insurance. You filled out that little response card. You put your wife Mary as a beneficiary. Do you remember doing that? Yes, okay, I have to verify the information you put down. You put down your address is this, your birthday is this, your beneficiary is this. Is that all good? Perfect. My job is to activate your free policy for you and go over the permanent life insurance that the union has available for you. We do it on Zoom. I can meet with you tonight at 6 or 7. What time works better for you? 6 o'clock? Okay, sounds good. I'll send you the Zoom link and I'll see you at 6 o'clock on Zoom. Boom. That's the gist of the first call. Like you guys saw, we do give you a script to read literally word for word. That first call usually only lasts about a minute or two. Once you schedule the Zoom meeting and 6 o'clock actually comes around, we have a PowerPoint presentation that you're gonna run the member through at 6 o'clock. As you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 slides on Zoom. And as you can see, each slide comes with a script underneath it. When we're presenting to the client, we share our screen in a way that the client can only see what's on the PowerPoint slide. They can't see what's down here, but our agents can see what comes along with each slide. So as you go through it, you're literally reading bullet point by bullet point a script that corresponds with what the client is seeing on the slide. So whenever you hear us say, hey, if you can read, you can make 6 figures, this is why, because the sales process is 2 steps. Step 1, you read a script word for word to schedule the appointment. You're calling a lead that already filled something out. They know what it's about. It's not too hard. Then you get them on a PowerPoint presentation where they're seeing a PowerPoint slide and you're literally reading a script that's proven to work word for word that corresponds with what's on each slide. Super, super simple. That's how a 20-year-old college dropout with no sales experience can make $380K their first year. It's because it's a super plug and play system, which is great because when we recruit people, it doesn't matter if you've been a top sales rep before. If you have been a top sales rep before, you're gonna crush this. But it also doesn't matter if your only job's ever been working at a gas station, because if you can read, you're gonna be able to make sales when you join our team. So that's how the sales process works. Now it comes down to understanding the average numbers and how much you're gonna make per sale. A simple analogy is baseball. In baseball, if you have a 300 batting average, that means you're one of the best baseball players in the league. But that also means for every 10 at-bats, you're only gonna hit the ball 3 times. Yet those 3 hits are gonna make you one of the best baseball players of all times. Sales is the same thing. You're gonna fail more than you succeed, but for those yeses that you get when they buy a policy, the money you make off that makes up for all of the rejection you have to deal with to get to the yes. However, we track our numbers as a team very, very specifically to make it so you can break down exactly what you have to do each week to hit whatever your target is. So our numbers are this, and maybe I can have an editor pop them up on the screen. But for every sale you make, we get paid 2 different ways in life insurance. We get an upfront commission, and then we get monthly residual income. For every sale you make, you're gonna make on average $600 upfront. We get paid weekly, so the sales week starts Monday, it ends Sunday. For every sale you make, on average, you're gonna make about $600 the following Friday. That's your upfront pay. And I'll break down how that works at the end of this video. But on top of that, you receive a residual income. Residual income means every month that your client continues to pay for their life insurance, you continue to get paid a percentage of their monthly payment. On average, every time you sell a policy, you're adding $3 a month to your passive residual income, which means if you've sold 100 policies, you've already built up $300 a month in passive income. Think about what you can do over the course of a 10-year career here. You could set yourself up not only to make a bunch of money up front, but also a bunch of passive money to retire on for the rest of your life. However, let's just stick with basic numbers. So for every sale, you make about $600. You need to give 3 Zoom presentations to make 1 sale, because the average close ratio with leads, so with these union people, is 1 out of 3. So for every 3 families that you walk through that 10-slide PowerPoint, on average, you're gonna make 1 sale. Now the thing is, not every appointment you schedule is actually gonna show up to the appointment. The numbers say for every 3 Zoom appointments you schedule in your calendar, only one of them is gonna show up. Reasons are people block your number and just don't show up for whatever reason. They reschedule, they say they had a family emergency, things like that. So it takes 3 appointments in your schedule for someone to show up, and it takes 3 people to show up to Zoom for 1 person to buy. Now, how many calls it takes for you to schedule 1 appointment? The average is 30. So you have to rip through 30 phone calls before you can finally schedule 1. You have to schedule 3 before 1 of them shows up to Zoom. And you need to have 3 people showing up to Zoom for you to make 1 sale. For every 1 sale you make, you're gonna make about $600 up front and $3 a month every month moving forward. That client continues to pay. So do the math on that. How many sales do you have to make a week to make 6 figures your first year? Well, if the average sale is making you $600, if you do 4 sales a week, that's $2,400 a week in income that you'll be making. All 4 sales a week is you give 12 Zoom presentations, because it's 1 out of 3 close. So if you present to 12 families, 4 of them are gonna buy. If you need to give 12 presentations, you only need to schedule 36 appointments. And if it takes 30 calls to schedule an appointment, whatever 36 appointments times 30 calls is, that's how many calls you have to make a week. This is why I can't wrap my head around why anybody makes less than 6 figures. Because if you join our team, we're gonna give you the leads. We give you scripts that are pretty much guaranteed to work. And all you have to do is make those calls, reading the scripts, using our PowerPoints, and the sales are gonna come. It's that simple to make 6 figures. If you wanna ramp those numbers up, just do the numbers on how many calls do you have to make 8 sales a week, and so on and so forth. We've got salespeople that make multiple 6 figures their first year simply by using this system and these numbers. So that's when it comes to leads. Now, if you can wrap your mind around the next thing I'm about to tell you, you're gonna realize quickly that you can literally make unlimited money with us as a sales rep. And keep in mind, when you grow your own team, how profitable you can be when you've got sales reps that literally have an opportunity to make unlimited income with unlimited leads. So as you see here, we teach our agents how to collect referrals. One of the resources our company gives us to help us collect referrals, I'm gonna break down here in a second. But remember, when we get the original lead, the way we're getting them on Zoom with us is we're giving them a free accidental life insurance policy just for meeting with us. Then we're pitching them the permanent life insurance that hopefully they buy so we can make a commission. When we get them on the PowerPoint, before we even pitch them life insurance, the first thing we do with the union members is we activate their free accidental life insurance policy that they filled that card out for. When we do that, you don't really have to zoom in here, but when we do that, for example, this guy, it looks like he put his brother as his beneficiary. So for the free accidental policy, we teach our agents, you're gonna collect 1 primary beneficiary. This guy put his brother. Then we collect a contingent beneficiary, which means who do you want second in line behind your brother? So when you pass away, if your brother's not around, who's second in line to receive this money? They'll put their friend. Then we collect 3 emergency contacts, which basically is, hey, if your brother and your friend both die at the same time as you, we need 3 people to know about this policy so they can call our company and let us know that you passed away so we can figure out who this money's gonna go to. So we collect their names, their phone numbers, and before we even move on in the presentation, you don't have to zoom in, I'll just explain it. We have the original union member text their friends. So this guy would text his brother and 4 of his friends saying, hey, I just put you on my life insurance policy through the union as a beneficiary or as an emergency contact. My agent Spencer is gonna call you from this number at this time, and he's gonna go over everything you need to know about this policy that I just listed you as the beneficiary on. And in that text, it's also gonna say, by the way, Spencer is also gonna offer you discounted union rated life insurance. So if you don't have life insurance, you can get it through Spencer at a discounted rate. He won't twist your arm. I'm just letting you know that he is going to offer it. So before we even pitch the union member life insurance, we've got 4 of his friends and family members that already received a text from him letting them know they're going to receive a call from us. They already know what it's about and they already know a sales pitch is coming. So then we continue to present to this union member. We hope that he buys the permanent life insurance, but even if he doesn't, as soon as the presentation's over, we're not going to push them whatsoever. If he buys, great. If he doesn't buy, our script is not pushy whatsoever. We let him go off the hook because we don't want him to look at us as a pushy salesman. We want him to see us as agents as super chill, because remember, if he doesn't buy, I'm going to have him set me up to go meet with his brother to explain to his brother how his free policy works that he got regardless. And then he knows I'm going to pitch his brother, so I don't want him to think I'm going to push his brother. So at the end of the union presentation, I would say, hey, Joe, that's okay that you're not buying. Text your brother one more time. Let him know I'm about to call him to go over his responsibilities because he is listed as your beneficiary on the free policy. Boom, boom, boom. Then I call his brother. I say, hey, brother, I was just with Joe. He's in a union. We were going over his life insurance. He put you as a beneficiary. My job's to hop on Zoom with you and go over his policy. Make sure you know what to do and how to make a claim when the time comes. And by the way, we're going to offer you permanent insurance for yourself, but I won't twist your arm whatsoever. Then I get on Zoom with his brother. Hopefully you're following along. Now that I'm on Zoom with the brother, we have a whole nother PowerPoint that's basically like this. It's 10 slides. It starts off slide 1, letting them know what we're doing. So I'm going to say, hey, Joe, the reason we're meeting is you were listed on your brother's life insurance as a beneficiary. Tons of life insurance went unclaimed last year because the beneficiary didn't know what to do or even how the policy worked. So my job first and foremost is to teach you about your brother's policy, make sure you know what to do and who to call whenever the time comes. They're going to be like, okay, makes sense. Then I'm going to say, number 2, at the end of this, I will be offering you the same 3 life insurance options that we offer to all of our union members like your brother. It is discounted, and I'm just letting you know that will be offered to you at the end of this. Whether you go with it or not is totally up to you. I won't twist your arm whatsoever, but I'm just letting you know up front that's how this works. They're always like, okay, and they appreciate our honesty. The very next slide, before we explain the union member's life insurance, I'll say to the brother, by the way, because you're a beneficiary on your brother's policy, we're able to give you the same benefit we give to all of our union members, which is your very own free accidental life insurance policy. It's worth $2,000. You're getting this just for being your brother's beneficiary. I'm about to send it to your email, but first, who do you want as your primary beneficiary? Then he lists the beneficiary for his free life insurance. Then I say, okay, who do you want as your second in line? He puts a second in line. Who do you want as your 3 emergency contacts? He puts 3 emergency contacts. I tell him the same thing. Hey, let those people know I'm going to reach out to them to explain your policy to them and also offer them permanent insurance. Let them know and we'll be good to go. He sends those texts out to his people. I email him his free policy. He activates it. We're good to go. Then for the remainder of that presentation, I'm just teaching him about how great the permanent benefits are that the union has available, explaining life insurance to him, and then teaching him all about our company. By the end of it, we're pitching him permanent life insurance. Hopefully he buys it. The product kind of sells itself, but even if he doesn't, we gave him a free policy anyway. We got beneficiaries and emergency contacts from him, his free policy. So now we go on to meet with those people. Does that make sense? So that's how we teach people to collect referrals. Now, the average numbers off referral sales is a little bit different than with the leads. Hopefully you remember the numbers I broke down with the leads, but with referrals from what we've seen, the close ratio is 1 out of 2. So for every 2 beneficiaries or emergency contacts you sit with, they buy more often. So it's 1 out of 2, 50% close. The show ratio is also way higher. It's also 1 out of 2. So you only have to schedule 2 referral appointments for one of them to show up. And the amount of phone calls it takes to schedule a referral appointment is like 5 max, Reason being is they received a text from their own family member or friend saying, hey, Spencer's gonna call you from this phone number at this time and this is what it's about. So they pick up right away, they're easy to schedule, they always show up, they trust you more, they like you more because you've already met with their friend, therefore they buy more. So our top reps are really good at referrals because you can get on so many more presentations in a day that way. And our great company lets us give out these free accidental policies as a way to collect referrals to every single person we meet with. True fact, our company actually paid out over $4 million last year alone just in these free accidental policies that they give to us as agents as a resource to help us collect referrals. The next thing, unlimited leads. So like I was talking about, how many leads you get. This is crazy. This is why we have agents making so much money. And all these leads are free. Your first month with us, we start you out with 100 leads. However, we have a quota. So for every 100 leads we give you as an agent on our team, all we expect is 5 sales for you to receive another 100 leads. Which means you technically have unlimited leads because as long as you're hitting 5 sales for every 100 leads we give you, you can get a new lead pack every other day or every 3 days. Our top agents are receiving new lead packs multiple times throughout 1 week because they're getting their leads, they're hitting their quota, and then they're getting more. Hitting their quota again, getting more, hitting their quota again, hitting more. The reason collecting referrals and selling referrals is so beneficial is because when we give you 100 leads and you can collect 5 referrals off each lead you sit with, when you sell referrals, that's counting towards your sales that you need for your quota off the leads, but that's not adding to how many leads you have because it's leads you've created for yourself. So if we give you 100 leads, all you need is 5 sales to receive 100 more. And you're not just selling the leads that we give you. We're teaching you how to sell the leads we give you, but also we're teaching you how to collect referrals from the leads we give you to sell those referrals and collect more referrals from those referrals. That way it's very easy for you to hit your quota to constantly be receiving more and more free leads from the company, which is why we say it's technically unlimited leads. And if you're a closer, it's not too hard to be doing that. Now, next, we also have final expense leads, and I want to explain why. So we do have final expense leads for agents to purchase if they want to. What it is someone that's literally requesting final expense burial plan life insurance coverage. The only reason we have this is because our competitor companies that don't have free leads to give out sometimes try to poach our agents by saying, oh yeah, they're free leads, but they're not requesting life insurance. Or, oh yeah, they're free leads, but you only get 100. Little do they know, yeah, you get 100, but once you hit your quota, you get 100 more, so it is unlimited. But we've had one bottleneck in the past that's held us back from extreme growth, and it's a very small bottleneck, but I'm super competitive and I reflect on our team a lot, and I'm always looking for ways that we can become undeniable. The only bottleneck that I saw in our company in 2025, which we've made a change to recently, is if we gave you 100 leads as a new agent, and let's just say you're new and you've never done sales before, and somehow, some way, you weren't able to hit your quota of 5 sales for every 100 leads, we do give you a fresh pack every 2 weeks. So the worst case scenario is you have the same 100 leads for 2 weeks. However, sometimes new agents would make 2 or 3 sales, but then they'd be like, look, I've exhausted these 100 leads. I didn't collect as many referrals as I should have. I need 2 more sales to get my next 100. But I can't make it work. Now I gotta wait 10 days before the next lead drop that's every 2 weeks. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's where we have the final expense leads come into play, where you can buy them. Yes, you'll make a little bit of profit, but it's more just to get you those 2 extra sales you need to unlock more free leads. That way you're no longer dependent on buying leads and you can just rely on the free leads and constantly hitting your quota. So there's no more excuses about, oh, well, I'm limited on my leads. No, you're not. We've got a quota for you. We teach you how to hit the quota. It's not even hard, but somehow, some way, if you can't hit that quota, we now are partnered with a lead company that you can buy life insurance request leads. That's basically free sales, but those leads are kind of expensive. So you end up almost breaking even. You make a little bit of profit, but it's really just more to help you hit your quota to get more free leads. Hopefully that makes sense. Next, how training works. I'm a firm believer in you should be learning from someone that's done it at a very high level. Who wants to learn sales from some new agent that's been in this company for 6 months? And who wants to learn how to make 6 figures from someone that hasn't made 6 figures selling? Who wants to learn how to make 7 figures from someone that's never made 7 figures? I know I don't. I want to learn from someone that's done it at a high level, taught other people how to do it at a high level, and is still doing it at a high level. So I've been with this company for 5.5 years. Just picture this. God is great. I'm going to make over $4 million this year. I made millions last year. Technically, I couldn't work one single day this whole year and I'd probably make the same amount of money. But my goals are so big, and for me to achieve my big goals, we need thousands of agents on our team making multiple 6 or multiple 7 figures. So I take it very seriously, and I'm willing to work super hard and invest a ton of my time and energy, even though I don't need to, into our new people. So for training, you learn live from me for free Monday through Friday. So whenever you start with us, your first training is Monday at 12:30 Eastern time. It's live with me on Zoom, where I break down everything you need to know. Mindset, sales tips, everything about the script, how to make calls, best practices, what's worked for me. Not only do I teach you everything, but I sit there and literally answer every single question you could possibly have. It's usually in a group setting, about 20 to 30 people a week, but I've got nothing else to do. So I'm literally willing to sit there and answer questions for 3 to 4 hours. So by the end of training, we do that 5 days in a row. There should be no confusion on anything. You've had a chance to ask someone that's made many 6 and 7 figures all the questions you could possibly be wondering. By the end of training, you're gonna have access to our scripts, all the knowledge you could possibly need on how to sell, how to collect referrals, and everything. You should be selling your first day out of training. But for continued support, you're gonna have a trainer that you have 24/7 access to. We've got 57 trainers on our team right now that got promoted to a leadership position due to the fact that they sell at a high level. Everyone that joins our team gets paired with a trainer that they've got 24/7 access to. But for continued access to me, I run a team Q&A every single Monday at 12 o'clock, where everyone on the team has the opportunity to continue to ask me questions moving forward throughout their career. Every Friday, I run a film review for the team, where if you ask your client to record your presentation and they give you permission, you can record your meetings and bring them the film review, where I'll watch it live with you and a whole group of people and make critiques on what you could do better. That's gonna be ongoing forever, praise God, as long as I'm still here breathing. So that's how training works. Next on the board, it talks about culture. This is something that separates us from a lot of sales competition, because anywhere you go to sell, there's people making money. It's not that hard to make money in sales if you're good at talking to people and working hard. However, I want to explain why we focus on this in our culture so much and kind of how it played a part in my life. But when I joined the company, I was 19 turning 20 years old. I had the opportunity to speak to a multi-millionaire that was in the company. His name's Simon Arias. And I was like, I just want to make 6 figures. I want to make 6 figures. What do I have to do to make 6 figures? And he told me the number one thing to focus on that's going to change my life more than anything is changing who I am. He's like, who you are, basically your current situation in life, your income, your lifestyle, your relationships, you deserve it, whether that's good or bad, but you've earned your way to exactly where you are based off of who you are, mentally, physically, spiritually, the way you think, who you surround yourself with, what you focus on. So he told me, who you are is a dead broke 20-year-old failing out of college, making no money, surrounded by bad friends who have you do bad things, spiritually not intact, physically not in the best shape. Mentally, you think like a loser and a victim, which is why you are a 20-year-old broke person. You need to get around successful people, learn how they think, get tapped in with your spirit, get in better physical shape. And as you focus on personal development and become someone worthy of money, you're just gonna attract it, and sales are gonna come easy to you. Building a team is gonna come easy to you. People are gonna wanna be around you because of the person that you've become. So I'm like, whatever, I've never read a book my whole life, never really I've gone to church, but never really got into church or reading my Bible or saying prayers, never listened to podcasts or anything. My first year in sales, I'm the type of person that's all in or all out. So I'm like, if I'm gonna do this personal development thing, I'm gonna commit to it like my life depends on it. He told me every single morning before you work, do something to develop your mind, your body, and your spirit. I did that, and other than being favored by God, I credit all my success to personal development, becoming the type of person that's worthy of having the desired income that you're looking to make. The reason that I talk about this is because in sales, no matter what you're selling, solar, pest control, life insurance, it doesn't matter. Sales has a large turnover rate. I would say 50%, meaning if we hire 100 people, there's a very good chance after 12 months, 50 of them have quit, 50 of them are still with us. Why am I bringing that up? If all we talked about and all we focused on in our culture was teaching you how to make money and become a successful salesperson, how unfulfilling would my life be knowing that every person I bring in, there's a 50% chance I waste my time and don't impact their life whatsoever. So what I know is to be true with my life, it's not something I read in a book, it's something that I actually did and it actually changed my life, is I learned from a rich person to focus on personal development, and as I did that, I became a better person. So what we teach people when they come in is, yes, we're gonna teach you how to sell, yes, we're gonna teach you how to make a lot of money, but we're also gonna teach you and give you resources and encourage you on ways that you can become a better person mentally, physically, and spiritually. So even if you quit this company, you can still look back and be like, Spencer made a huge impact on my life. Even though I'm doing something else now, Spencer got me into church. Or even though I'm doing something else now, Spencer got me back into the gym. Or even though I'm doing something else now, Spencer taught me how to think and I'm not a victim anymore. I take accountability for where I'm at and it's helped me succeed in my next business. So different resources we have in place for that. Every single Monday at 8 a.m., we do a team virtual church that I lead. We watch church together as a team on Zoom. It's completely optional. But I know there's a bunch of young people out there that don't have someone to go to church with. They're uncomfortable to go alone. Maybe they don't know where to go. So this is an easy outlet for people to get back into church and hopefully grow your spirit with God. Number 2, every single morning at 8:45 a.m., I run a 15-minute motivational call where we watch a YouTube video together, listen to a podcast, or have a successful guest speaker on to help our agents grow mentally. And then physically, I can't force anyone to go to the gym, but you're gonna see me in the gym every single morning guaranteed, and we're gonna encourage you to get back into the gym because the better you feel, the better you're gonna perform in sales. So that's a little bit about culture. Now, for time purposes, we're gonna make a whole new video about how to get promoted in our team, how the money works when you do get promoted, and then how you can get started. So in this video, we're gonna pair it, we'll title it, whatever it's gonna be, but click this next video that we're gonna make and it's gonna teach you, for those of you that wanna grow your own sales team, exactly what I said, how to get promoted, how the money works when you do get promoted, and then how to get started on the sales team. God is good, we'll see you in the next video.